want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. This is Steve again, and this actually series is going to focus back on an older project that I was working on. Was it about a year ago or so? You might recall, to kind of to backtrack here a little bit. Let me jump over to that page. Actually, I don't want to lose this one. That's the game creator's main website, but I wanted to show you on my channel here where I had the original video for this. So it's this one right here you're looking at. This is the last one right here, basically, the Dark GDK game series. And what I did, as I originally explained, is I took this program, which actually it comes concluded when you download the Dark GDK, and I wanted to kind of show you steps of how to do that today too as well. So let me just kind of go in that order first. And I thought I had it open here. See, game creators. It's right here. Okay, so you would go to this page, or if you want to get to this page, basically all I did in Google was type Dark GDK download, and it should be the first one on the list here. That will provide you with all the links you need to download. You'll need all this stuff for programming. You'll need, of course, Microsoft Visual C++, which is available here at a link. You also need the DirectX 9 software development kit, and then you'll want to download Dark GDK by clicking on this link here. I already have mine installed, but you just click it here and you install it in and run the installer and everything. And once you have that set up, then you'll eventually go down here to the start menu and you'll look for the folder, go to all programs, look for the folder called the game creators, then go to Dark GDK and samples, and I'll close this out to show you. That basically I'm just going to open up that window you just saw. Dark GDK samples, and it's right here. Sample browser will bring up, this is that original, going back again here, this is the original engine that I modified to create this dungeon game that I was working on before, which is pretty much untitled. So if you run here, you'll see it takes a little bit of time to run it though. I can probably leave it up on the screen there, but it actually went pretty quick actually. And you'll see this is the original one right here. I think it's kind of noisy to turn it down here a little bit. I don't know if I can. Well, anyway, I'll turn that off there. That's basically what that is. That's the Dark GDK engine that was modified from here, and I wanted to show you how you can run it in code and you can go in and change stuff with it. Basically, going to go to kind of the similar steps we took earlier. You're going to go to the start menu, all programs, game creators, Dark GDK, samples. Instead of selecting sample browser, this time you just select projects. I have to restart this again here, and let me close out this other one here. And what you'll do, if it's not already set here, you'll set this as the startup project by right-clicking on it. And these are all the actual demos and everything that comes with, that you just saw here earlier on this sample browser. It comes with Dark GDK when you first install it. Let me go back there. I kind of skipped through that real quickly, but if you look right here, the camera, that's that one right there. Shaders, and they're basically all in here. So this is all the different ones. You can actually look through here and you'll see these sphere mapping is right there. Those are the demos that kind of get you set up when you're first learning to develop within Dark GDK and you want to be able to create your own type of games or demos or whatever you prefer. Mine is always games. I've always preferred games. So, what I wanted to show you, and you see what I've done here is I just basically clicked on this little plus sign, which opens up the subdirectory level, and I just clicked on demo, and then that opens up, this is the original code for the Dark Dungeons. You find a striking contrast between this and my program. I'll even open up mine and show you. Okay, so let's see, it's Dark GDK Dungeon right here. So mine is right here. Okay, so there's and there's mine. If you look and kind of compare them here, you'll see some of this stuff, like here, the type mode and all that, is very similar. I kind of renamed some of the stuff for my own purposes, but a lot of it is very, very similar. And here's the voids and defines and everything. This stuff is already in here. So this is what I did, is I basically modified it and created my own little game out of it. So that's what you can do. You can go in here and you can modify the code in here. I was going to kind of show you some of that. Let me go back here. I wanted to show you the original maze right here. Let me get down to this one. Obviously this one is a lot larger. Right there. See, now it's, what it originally looked like was right there, and then here's what I done to it. So I basically expanded it, and I also enlarged it down here. This one goes up to 49. Oh, actually, you know what? I kept it to 49. But I enlarged it to make the screens longer. That's how you can make them longer in length. It's just by changing, and I showed this in one of my earlier videos when I was showing you how to program in Dark GDK. You just go and you change these 4 loops right here. One controlling the length and one controlling the width. And this one tells this is the length right here, and this is the width right here. So this one goes over to 50 here. Sorry, this one goes over to 22. This one goes over to 59. So this tells how long it's going to be. And this one goes over to 22. So it's basically go in here and you just enlarge that. So that's how you kind of change some of the things there. Now, I wanted to run this just for a little bit. Wish I could turn off the irritating sound they make. And actually, we can. You know what? Let's just do that first. Let's turn off the sound because it kind of drives me nuts when they start shooting at you and everything. You're going to kind of learn a few different things here today. So, let me see, where is that sound located at? I got to turn off the part where they're firing at you here. So. I know it's down in here somewhere. Let's see. Here's where the values get updated, so it's probably in here somewhere. Let's see. I thought it had its own little separation where basically its own method that would. And let me just go back up here and look at the voids, because it's probably in there somewhere. Setup game. Huh. Let's see. I see sound here, door sound. It's about firing the gun or something. See gun waggle. That's where the gun moves up and down. Player bullet. Current fire. I mean, one trick could be to basically turn off the media, what do you call it, the MP3 or whatever that's running the sound. That might cause an error, so I'm not going to do it that way. Let's see, this is where the gun loads in. Here's the gun fire. This is where it draws it. And play music. It's got to be down in here somewhere. Okay, I guess I could just comment one of these out actually. Let's see. Shoop roar, laser. Let's take that one out. I think that'll do it. So we'll recompile here. Or just so you can see it a little bit better. You run in HD, it can be harder to see. You'll get this pop-up message. I just clicked the checkbox here, just hit yes. This basically means it couldn't find a debug file, but it'll still run. Let's take a second here. It's in the background here somewhere. It just seemed to froze up my screen here. So the thing I always didn't like about the game creators is when they run the program, it freezes everything up. I don't know how they load their objects or everything, but it takes over everything. All the resources on my computer. I mean, or at least a lot of them. It just, I think it probably crashed or something. Let me see. Well, it didn't crash because what we're doing is we're running it directly, and it takes a lot longer when you're running it. You're compiling it, and you're running it real time. So it's going through this stuff and it's loading any objects without creating what's called a DLL file, basically. So it takes a little bit longer. Eventually it'll pop up here. It'll probably take a minute or so. While that's loading, I can kind of go through some of this other stuff here. I'm going to keep this off to the side of the screen so I can see. Actually, there it is. Okay, so we got it loaded up here. So we should have the sound off now, and I wanted to demonstrate some. I'm pretty sure I turned off the firing sound. I hope I did. I knew it was going to crash on me. It's probably because I can't find that. I wonder what happened here. Let's see, I turned off the firing, so it can't load in that fire. So what it's doing is it's looking for that the object, and it's not finding the object. So we need to also turn off the objects. I forgot to do that. So let me go back up here. Let me see, where was it at here? Right here. So that means all the objects that are 7, we have to turn those off for this to work. So I wish there was like a volume controller or something where you could just turn it down or something. Let's see, DBL load sound. Let me go back and look at the they have a help guide here if you need to learn how the methods and stuff work within Dark GDK. You can go in and you can actually look at them here. I believe it's in the tutorials. No, it's not tutorials, documentation. And you go to information. And this brings up the little help file here. This shows all the core components you'll find when doing your programming. So we'll look up something similar to this, and obviously we would just go here and click on sound, and then we're going to be looking for DB load sound. So we go to DB load sound here, and this tells you what the parameters are for, basically. Let's see, specify parameters, like you specify start in position, point of looping sound is at play. So this is looping sound, DB load sound, laser wave. Well, that basically isn't going to help us much. Let me see if there is one to turn off the sound though. Stop sound. Here's stop sound. This one might work. I'm going to save this one. Instead of doing this, we'll just stop it. We'll load it and then we'll stop it. Let's see if that'll work. So I got DB load sound. So right after this, we're going to put in DB stop sound, and you're going to load in the object number, which is right here, or I'm sorry, right here, 7. So you go 7, and it only needs 1, I guess. Let's see, integer sound. It's coming over stop the specified sound number if it is planned. Yeah, that might be it. We can try that. In the meantime, I want to see if I go down here, maybe I can find the method that controls the object that's being loaded every time he's firing. So every time the enemies appear on the screen, they're firing at you directly, and it's utilizing that object because that object is put in a sound. You can see right here in the sound call here. Actually, I had it up here earlier. Sorry. It's not finding this, and whenever you have something in an object and it can't find out what's going on, it'll create usually like a null or something, and it'll crash it. So what I wanted to try to do to kind of speed up some time here is see if I can locate maybe where that's happening at. I'm pretty familiar with update baddies. I bet this is it. Pretty familiar with this stuff, so I should be able to locate it here. Let's see, loop object baddie. See, in my program, I already had gone through and I had already commented this all out. Maybe that'll be some help here too. Let me see. And I think I just shut that one down. I still have this thing running in the background. But I shut it down. Let's see here. Let me just stop this. Okay, because we're not, it crashed on us anyway. So let's go here and see if we can check for collision, find out where it is here. Firing at the player if we are facing him. So this is where they fire at. DB play object. Fire DB play sound. There it is. See? It's a 7 again. So that's the one we want to basically do. We'll turn this one off so it doesn't make any sound when they shoot at us, but only like when they run up on us or something, since that is so annoyingly loud. And then what I'm going to do is go back in here, obviously where we were earlier, and just turn the sound back on here. So the sound would be loaded. This loads the sounds into memory, but it won't be played. So that should do the trick for us. And let me just rebuild this. Should get no errors. Should be okay. Oh, we got an error message. Oh, I left off something here. Let's see. That's right, because I had this one in there. So let's take that out. I'll rebuild. Okay. I'll run this again. It's just going to take a little bit of time to load it up here, so you have to kind of bear with me on that. And it shouldn't take too long. It freezes up the whole game when you're trying to load it. It really consumes a lot of resources. That's why I showed you guys how to run and create your own executable file, because it's a lot faster than waiting for this thing to load. Now you're getting to see a real-time example of what happens when you let the thing load forever. You know, when you're running it real time, it takes a long time to load any objects. So, and the more objects you have, the longer it's going to take. But in my example here, with my program, it takes twice as long because I have that many more objects. So let's see. I say while this thing's loading up, I'm going to see if I can locate some of the stuff I wanted to do here. Let's see, update player. I think we'll play with the baddies a little bit maybe. So object position. Okay, well we got this running and I wanted to show you this now. Okay, now see? Oh, these guys are making a horrible... Well, then I gotta turn off their sound now. I wanted to be able to talk through it and explain to you what's going on as it's running, because it'll help me. I'm gonna have to turn off all these sounds to do this. I was not aware of all this was going to happen, so I need to turn off any other play sounds. Basically, let's see here. Play music, update player. I have a feeling they're going to be called play something. Play sound. There's another one. So I'll turn off all the play sounds. That'll probably do it. DB play sound. There's another one. And you'll notice as I'm doing this that this will be taking effect in the game. So there won't be any sound after this. It might be, yeah, there shouldn't be because I turned off everything. So that should take care of everything. Right there's another one. No one's going to make any sound, so I can talk through this and finally explain what I wanted to. It's up, so it'll ask you for that to rebuild it again. So okay, so it's going to load again. And while it's doing it, I wanted to go back through here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the maze too and show you guys how to enlarge it a little bit. And you'll watch and observe what happens as I enlarge the maze runtime here, as I run it real time. And bear with this video. I know it's going to be long. Hopefully you'll get some good tips out of this one. Like I said, I didn't explain this one before, but you can look up everything you need in here that you're looking for. You can even search for the object if you know what the name of it is. Obviously there's a dB play sound. It'll take you right to it. So whatever you want to use in the program, and then you click on them and you get more information about how they use and how they work and everything. So pretty cool. I learned a lot just by going through this and clicking through this a lot and kind of reading what they show. Let's see if this thing is running. Nope, still waiting. Okay, so it's starting now, so we shouldn't have any. We're going to probably get that sound. Okay, and there's no sound now. Perfect. See, now we just changed the program because there's no sound in the game now. Now there's still collision and all that, and they're chasing me around here. So what I'm going to do next here, since they're chasing me and I don't want that, I'm going to turn off their running. In other words, I'm going to shoot them here. No, these guys are stuck. Maybe I can get by these guys out of them. Great. Just leave me alone. Okay. Hopefully they don't. Okay, they don't know where I am. Okay, so now I'm going to kill this guy so I can go back to the earlier part. We can turn off the hits too, like when they shoot at you. The collisions and stuff like that too. Okay, so now what I wanted to show you is the length of this maze. If you can kind of observe here, and we'll change some of the way positions moved around. How many poles we got here? We got 1, 2, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one in the middle, 7. I guess like there's 7 of them. So we're going to minus some poles here. Maybe even add another box in here. And later we'll change some textures and stuff like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this part, if I succeed, either this side or this side is going to get larger. I don't remember if it's this side or this side, but I'm going to enlarge it so to show you how to start building your maze. And we have to go back in code to do that. So we did turn off the sound, so we got part of it working so far. So now comes the next process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enlarge this to make it noticeable, about 20 on each of these here. Now you have to be real careful when you have to count 20 spaces, but what I usually like to do is something like this. Okay, so I took a filler here, and you just take this and copy it and just kind of erase all these lines down here. Hopefully I don't make a mistake and it doesn't crash here. Takes a little bit of time to go through it too. If you notice here, you look at it, you can actually see that this is the first part where we come into the maze, and this down here will show how far down this is going to go. So if we want to expand this, we could even draw a bridge in here and to make up like a second room, or make this all one giant room. I could do that too. I wanted to just show you this too. So we're going to enlarge the size of it and everything. Oops. Make sure that's even. The reason and purpose for this video is I've got a lot of questions about this, about how to do this. And I thought in the past, I would finally have time to show you how to reconstruct your own engine, your own 3D engine. Oh boy, wish there was a faster way to do this, but there's not. Oops. We're almost done here. So let's go down here. And I'm just using Control V. Once you copy it, Control V will do the pasting. And how many more we got? A couple more here. Hopefully if I did this right, it should run with our new changes. I'll show you how to go in and start editing this thing. Now it's not quite as large as the one I created, but you'll get an idea of, of the difference in its size. Now, those dots represent the floor, so I just stuck them in there. So just make sure that this line down here stays even with these, because this is 20 in length. I'll need another one in there. So and these ones right here represent the walls. So I'm taking out the walls here too, and we'll have immediate access to this new room over here that we just created. Okay, so make sure you put them all over the place, or he might end up falling through the floor if you don't. I think I'll just enlarge that one section and show you that for now. This will be kind of our new room, and up here we'll make this these all ones, because this is going to represent a wall. You'll see when I get over there. This will be our wall right here, and this will be the other part of the wall, so he doesn't end up going off the screen. It's going to be a very long room, ain't it? Oops. And I just did this just for purposes, just to show you. You can make them as large as you want them to. Eventually it's not worthwhile to make them too big, because when you start entering a room, it doesn't completely draw the room correctly, and you'll see outer parts. Okay, so I'm going to set a 1 right here for all these for 1, so we'll set up a wall down here. So now you got walls going through here, and let's put these back in here. And let's see here. And it takes a long time, doesn't it, to really go through all this stuff. Let's see how long have I been recording here. If it can tell me how long, I guess it can't. Well, anyways, we got that wall in there. I'll just kind of run it here in a minute and show you. And let me add the ones here too, so we build this part of the wall. We want a perimeter basically going completely around it there. And then now, these are the posts earlier, so we're going to stick some posts in this new room. So basically you just use the O. That's the posts. Let's see, put one right there, kind of make them even here a little bit. And we'll stick one here in the middle maybe. We'll do a 3 here, kind of move them around a little bit. And then I'll run in this room a little bit and I'll show you the new posts and everything. Those guys are going to be chasing us too, so we're going to have to deal with all that again. Okay, so now one of these represents the box. Let's see, when he first comes in here, this is the room. It goes down, it's probably over here somewhere. Might be the S, N, or the G. We can, to kind of finally show you, for those who are new to this. Oh, I forgot to put the wall here too. This is going to lead to the bridge. We could just set up we could do this and make it just like a ones here. Basically take these and make these all ones. So this will be walls here. And then we'll set up a wall here. You don't want to leave any space, because that's going to represent, just space. Which you can, if you're not careful, you could fall through it. So I'm going to turn these back into little dots again. I know you're probably anxious to see what this is going to look like, but as you're watching this, you'll get an idea of what's going on. Now you already know that the zeros are the O's are the poles. the pillars they call them here. Yeah, see, it takes a long time to really build a really good maze too. But just wanted to show this to you. You can do whatever you want with them. Just make sure that you're using the number correctly for the object that you're displaying on the screen. Like that. Okay, so that should be good. Probably if restore other polls, let's put those back in here. I'll stick 3 this time. And we'll just set up some in the middle here. Maybe one in the corner or something like that. Okay. There'll be an empty space in here. Okay, so now I wanted to show you. Now if you go down in here, you see these case statements. These are representing the characters that are found in this this array. Basically, this maze is being defined by what these characters are, and this is drawn in. Once it sees an S or whatever, it does this part. If it sees an N there, it does this part. That's how basically how it's working here. So, looking for let's see what this one is. This is Assault Trooper. So these are the bad guys. These are the lights. We could put some lights in there. Here's the wall. Right there's the one. You saw me putting a lot of ones in there. That's the wall. There's another different kind of wall. And there's the pillars right there. The O. Doorway. I wonder where it is. Looking for that treasure box. Assault Trooper. Energy box right there. So it's that little... I see what it is. It's that carrot. So, right there. That one right there. So we're going to stick a few of these over here. Just to show you. Carrot there. And so forth. Hopefully if this doesn't crash if I've done everything correctly. And set up 2 here. Okay. So let's go ahead and save this. We'll rebuild it. Okay. Now, if everything goes correctly here, I just noticed we had an extra one down here, so I want to always keep these the same length. So, oh, I almost forgot to do something else important. I forgot to mention this. The CZ level, actually, you know what, no, we haven't added any more, so I was thinking about the size of the level, but no, that should be good. Okay, so we should be able to get away with that. And, I was going to do one more thing here. I was going to show you how to build like a bridge from the elevator over. And I kind of did that right here, but anyway. Let's do something like that, I guess. We'll do something like this. Number, sign. And then we'll make this another number. And then this will be the entrance back out. And then this will be a wall on that side. We'll stick ones all around that area there. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. And something like that would be pretty good. You'll get used to them after a while, but basically I'm just building a little wall here that's running through that. You saw that when I go through those doors over here. Those doors that opened up. Well, I think one of these represents the doors. I think this S was the door. You go through the doors after the guys are chasing you. And then you'll be able to run down through here. And oops, I just have more of these again. Don't want to leave any of those spaces if there's an open area there, so I'm going to leave it like that. And we'll open up this one too. Trust me, it all makes sense once I have it running here for you. So this basically opened up that area so you can actually go in 2 different ways here. And we'll see that demonstrated here a little bit. So let me go ahead and rerun this. rebuild this. Okay, now run it. And we just got an error message already. No symbols are loaded and any call stack frame cannot be displayed. Oh. Let's see, let's try this again. Those messages are really strange. It means it got down here to the maze and it doesn't know. Probably one of these characters doesn't understand what is in that character or something like that. That's why you just set up a test tracer on it here. Let me just set that up here. I'm going to step through it a little bit. This will allow you to step through the code as it's running. Yeah, looks like we crashed before that. I wonder if it's that sound area. Let's see. The joys of programming. So we never got to this part. Let me just set it right in here. This will stop a breakpoint here. If it's not, then it's not crashing here. It could be crashing somewhere else. Looks like it's crashing somewhere else. Probably because I took out those sounds. So now I gotta step through this, and I did not want to have to go through all this, but I'll teach you step through. So let me go back here and just put it right here. Sets up a second breakpoint to run it. And it's not even letting me get there, is it? Error is like no help, is it? Yeah, I love it when that error message pops up. I already kind of know what that error message is. It means that you're trying to use an object that doesn't exist anymore, so we're probably unfortunately going to have to turn back on the plays, much as I don't want to do that. Because they're being used by other parts of the program, so I'm going to have to turn them back on here. Get the first one here. So now you know if you get that error message, it means it's not able to load a certain object that you have already defined in the program somewhere. Okay, we got that one. Turn that one back on. Turn that one back on. I just wish it wasn't so loud. Okay, they're all on, so it should be good now. Oops. That's just happening because I haven't rebuilt it yet. Okay, let's try it again. What else is going on here? Play music. Load music. So let's see, we got the laser turned back on. Make sure all the DB play sounds are on. Okay, now DB load sound. They're fine. I think I'm going to do this. Since I don't know what's going on here, I'm just going to copy. Because it takes too much time to really try to go through that. And this is a YouTube video, so there's a time limit for everything here. So I'm just going to copy all this and just paste this back down once I undo all my other changes here. So double check to make sure I got it all there. There's no going back. Okay, it's definitely copied. Now I'll just undo all the changes I had done from before. Okay, there we go. So everything's undone. Okay. Now, go back down here. And just copy in the other stuff. And just change this again. And at least we'll know if the error's in here this time for sure. Rebuild. And run it. Ah, so it is in here. At least I never figured out now the error's happening in here somewhere, so maybe it's not long enough or something. I have to count these spaces. Let's see. Put little things on to count them here. Counted 57. I'm going to double check to make sure I'm changing the right one. This one was the length, this one was the... Yeah, this one goes to 49, this was 22, so it's this one. See what happens here. So part of my program is still laying down over here. Okay, so let's rerun it. This is not going to be a fun night. It's easy level. Let's change this. So change that to 57. It shouldn't matter because there's 49 here. I just think it's probably finding a character that doesn't exist or something. Because what it's doing is just going down here, it's trying to add in one of these things I put in here, and it doesn't know what it is. So it's blowing up at that point. So if we put an unknown character in here, that could be why. I should have been more careful and watched which ones I was putting in there. Let's see. Boy. They look to be correct to me. Some of the annoying messages you can get. Well, you know what? I'm going to break this up into 2 videos because I think this one, I'm going to need some time to go over this, guys. But just stay tuned for the next video here, and that way these aren't going to take too long to upload. Sorry about that, guys, but I think that'd be the best way to go about this for now. Thanks for watching, though.